had the weirdest experience with the GoPro on the sticky pad when I was driving in. I was complaining it fell off a couple of times, and then when I finished the drive and I went to take it off, it wouldn't come off, and actually pulled the back off the camera. And then I realized it felt warm, and I think I remember something from the instructions on the thing that it works better if it's warm. If the car's cold, it's a good idea to warm the car up before you try and use it. So apparently it gets stickier the warmer it is. So maybe it's still viable. Less than impressed with my first run of the sticky pad, because a GoPro is really small and really light, so there's really not a good effort for it to fall off as many times as it did, but we'll see how we go. So taking the opportunity to do this as I drive. I think I want to do this more, post much more material on my second channel, Less Angry Aussie, just to stay in practice, just to be generating content. And because these type of videos, apart from potentially being entertaining in their own right, can give me a chance to work things out as well, talk through ideas. And most notably at the moment, thing I want to do in a video is a major deconstruction of the current Australian federal government, Conservative Party coalition, and everything I consider wrong with them. Again, I make no pretense at my own biases, and in that I have the opposite views by and large to people who are conservative politically. You know, the Liberal National Party in Australia, Tories in the UK, Republicans in the US. I still try to be reasonable, and I always make a point, like, you know, personally, this is what I disagree with. And, you know, opinions, they're worth what you pay for them, nothing. But I like to share, and a few people seem to like to hear what I think about things, so I keep doing it. But I truly believe this current Australian government, so bad, their behaviour, their policies, their suppression of, or attempted suppression of, the truth. I think I can really go to town on them while still essentially being objective. The simple objective statements of the things they are doing wrong is fairly damning, you know. And that's just, I know it's almost superfluous to go, oh, that politician lies. And I made no secret of the policies, statements and personalities I didn't like in the previous Labor government, the in theory more progressive political party in Australia. But yeah, nothing compared to how I feel about the Conservatives in power now. Everything from the fact that they basically got in on nothing but lies, even by normal political standards. They were non-stop lying, and even worse, again, fairly typical for politicians, political parties: reward your friends, punish your enemies. But the level of entitlement that went along with the vindictiveness with which they've gone after groups that, you know, are not them, are the other. From before the election, when a drunken staffer accosted someone at a charity fundraiser. The guy was chairman of a charity that was designed to boost Indigenous literacy. Just said, you know, once we're in power, you're fucked. We're going to cut your throat, meaning we're going to cut your funding. You'll cease to exist. It's just this sense of we're the winners. We can do whatever we want. We can fuck over anyone. That's our right. And to the extent, well, one of the big ones that I want to get all the facts straight on, but in broad brushstrokes, a guy who was a paid lobbyist for a whole bunch of companies and industries as a whole, got a job working in the health minister's department. It's actually directly working for the assistant health minister. Nothing intrinsically wrong with that. Lobbyists exist, people have their views, everyone tries to influence the government. But what this guy was involved in was directly involved in shutting down a health website that was ranking the relative healthfulness of different food and food-like products, and he had the site pulled, and that was directly benefiting companies that he was paid by in the past. And in fact, although he resigned his position as a lobbyist, he is still a major shareholder in the lobbying company that was getting money from these companies. Not saying he's corrupt, but simple statement of fact, he did something fairly unilaterally that directly benefited companies that had paid him in the past. So you can read into that where you will. And then again, there was it was regarded as the peak health body trying to help people not abuse alcohol so much, just designed to support people who have alcohol problems, and in other words encourage people to drink less alcohol. And he was instrumental in the decision to strip them of funding. Now, the food content website was relatively new, and they said some kerfuffle about, I wasn't ready, blah, blah, blah. It was a new thing, and it was killed just after it went live. And it is possible to, argue back and forth various ways, how bad that was. But this alcohol harm reduction group was the premier such group in the country. And the major health representative bodies like the Australian Medical Association, which is an inherently really conservative organisation because it represents rich doctors, but it also represents health issues. These are the people who deal with health. They went on the record as saying this was a bad decision. This was against the best interests of the Australian public. And when you get the AMA directly criticising you, saying you've done the wrong thing, that's bad policy. You fucked up quite badly. And these things happened in rapid succession. Oh, and also, when this guy worked as a lobbyist, he was a lobbyist for alcohol companies as well. So, two controversial decisions in short order that directly benefited companies that had paid this guy. You will be surprised to learn that he felt compelled to resign from the Assistant Health Minister's department, going, it's a witch hunt. This media outlet that got a hold of this, it's a witch hunt, because these days apparently stating objective fact is a witch hunt. I will be interested to learn what ultimately happens if they can successfully sweep this under the carpet. Like, no, he's gone now. It's all good. You know, what are you still worried about? Because if you took this to the, I guess, most extreme logical conclusion, like if there was legal proceedings, at the very least, there's a conflict of interest, and this guy had actually signed a document saying there is no conflict of interest in me taking this role. This turns out to not be the case. Certainly one of the, I'm not sure if Penny Wong is the Shadow Health Minister, but she's on the opposition side, and she's gone in hard on this, and she's a fairly serious politician and not someone you want kicking your head, because she kicks pretty hard. And she's gone after them, and they're really desperately trying to cover their tracks. This looks like, to me, it looks like a degree of arrogance and ego that, at best, deluded you into thinking you could make a very politically unwise decision and get away with it because you don't have to answer to anybody. That's the best outcome, that you just were stupid enough to think you could make this decision without there being fallout. The worst, I'm not even sure the worst, like if you actually pursued this and said there's some criminal behaviour here, you know, it's gone, you've misled the Parliament with the conflict of interest thing, and of course I think it would be safe bet. Let's just say the absolute worst case, and I'm fairly convinced this will never happen, but say for instance someone go, oh look, I have evidence the guy took money, look, here's a contract where he took money to defund this body, to get rid of this health information. So yeah, took a bribe essentially. I wonder how that would get classified in the criminal code. Is that corruption, bribery? I'm not sure. I'm quite convinced that never happened. He was never given a direct bribe to do this. But it's somewhere on the spectrum between that and just being so overwhelmingly arrogant and entitled that you don't understand you can't make a decision like that without people screaming about a conflict of interest. It's one thing to make policy that people disagree with, but when you instigate a policy or an action that you directly benefit from commercially, there are rules about that, and that is why these guys resigned. There's been no finding against him, and I have no idea if they'll be able to bluff their way out of it, but that's one of the big ones. But there's a whole lot of little things in there, like just being really bloody minded, like going after the environment and environmentalists, like allowing dumping of toxic waste and dredging in the Great Barrier Reef, wanting to remove World Heritage listing on one-of-a-kind rainforest in Tasmania, and the logging companies haven't even asked. This is the weirdest thing. The logging companies didn't ask for this. He's so bloody minded, he's just gone, nah, fuck the greenies, I fucking hate them. You know, well and good, a lot of people agree with him. But he's gone and said, no, we've got a good for business to rip this up. And the businesses, the logging businesses, have said, we never asked for that. We actually negotiated more or less a peace deal with the environmental groups that we wouldn't log there, and they'd give us a less hard time about logging over here. And that's derailing that. So there's not even a good economic basis for these decisions. They're just sheer bloody mindedness, arrogance and entitlement. And that sort of thing shits me. But I'm going to do a bit more research and pull some numbers and specifics about. But yeah, that will be coming. Probably a quite angry and vicious, and probably a series of angry, vicious attacks on the Australian government. So look forward to that. See you later.